Hello, everyone. It is Ursula here with a brief video tutorial about rising signs. So, as many of you may already know, as of last week, so Thursday, May 23rd, I am now writing a weekly horoscope column called The Cosmic Connection that will be in print and in the online version of our South Jersey Shore Local Newsmagazine. And I have a little introductory paragraph in every submission and in every weekly contribution that I'm going to make that describes a little bit about what astrology is and how the horoscopes are written based on your rising sign. So that might be a little bit different relative to horoscopes that you may be used to reading. If you're new to astrology, this all might be a little bit new and a little confusing. So we just wanted to do this brief tutorial and put it on our YouTube just so we have something to refer people to, just for a little education and general information and knowledge about my new practice, what we're doing, and the perspective from which I am writing these. So traditionally, historically, mostly in the past, horoscopes were written based on someone's sun sign. There's a whole practice that is involved behind that. And it seems like that's what people are still generally used to reading and how they're used to working with horoscope information. So it was interesting, like when I handed my friends and family the paper copy when I had it in my hands last week on Thursday, they went right to their sun sign. And it's like, no, 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 these are a little different. It might not be what you're used to. These are based on your rising sign. And then there's a whole discussion about what that is and everything. So let's go over some things and then I'll demonstrate. So I'll show you the chart and I'll give an example of one that I've written that will appear in next week's edition. So just timestamp, as I always do, I'm recording this on Friday, May 31st of 2024. So there are now 2 editions out and I have already written the ones for next week. So I'll get into all that. I just did the astro weather check for the new moon. So there's some information kind of infused into that as well. If you want to refer to that video, it's today's astro weather check for the Gemini new moon, May 31st, 2024. So what your rising sign is. When we have all 3 pieces of information to cast a full natal chart, so those 3 pieces of information are date of birth, time of birth, and location of birth. When you have all 3, they get plugged into the software or whatever program you're using, whether it be online, on your phone, on your computer, whatever. Put those 3 pieces in, and then you get your natal chart or a chart. It's divided into 12 pieces. It looks like a pie, 12 slices of the pie, 1 through 12. Each slice refers to different themes, different areas of life. Each one has something different and they all kind of build on each other. So rising sign, also known as the ascendant, AS is the abbreviation that you'll see on a chart if it's included, which it usually should be, is the way that I work with it in whole sign, what's called whole sign houses, the first house of the birth chart. So house 1, ascendant, rising sign, we get when we have all 3 pieces of information. And this space relates to the primary themes are the physical body. A lot of people refer to it as like your mask or the face that you show the world or the thing most people might see about you first. It can relate to appearance, to general health, like I said, your physical body, the way that you work through the world, the way that you process things kind of in this vessel that we all have. So I've shared on my podcast and in many discussions and all the content we have on YouTube, I am a Taurus rising. So the film, the layer, the lens of Taurus is the way that I work through the world. So that has layers of qualities that are definitely the same as the sun sign, but your rising sign isn't necessarily your sun sign unless your sun is also there at your time of birth. It is possible to have your sun, your moon, and your rising sign all be the same. But generally speaking, the way that these horoscopes are being written, I am looking at the themes based on what I'm talking about in each week for where it's happening in the house. So the practice of this is a little bit different than what is historic, but also what you may be used to seeing generally. There are still sun sign columns and horoscopes out there. The ones that I'm doing, the ones that are being put into Shore Local, are a little bit different. So you want to look at, if you know your rising sign, look at the horoscope for, say, for me, I would be looking at Taurus because Taurus is my rising sign. If you don't know your rising sign, I'll give you some tips and tools at the end of this video for that, but let's look at a chart. So I just did like I said, the astro weather check for the Gemini new moon, which is next week on June 6th, 2024. So this is a good example because I just wrote the horoscopes for this as well. So here in New Jersey, in Atlantic City, the rising sign at the time of the new moon at 8:37 a.m. Eastern. Oh, wait, I should be doing June 6th. Oh, let me just go back here real quick. (8:37 a.m.) Okay. So this is the chart for the new moon. The AS, the ascendant, the first house piece of the pie 1 rising sign is Cancer. So the horoscope that I wrote for next week's edition, so June 6th through June 12th, or the Shore Local comes out every Thursday. So the week ahead will be Thursday to Wednesday, is this. So this is what it's going to say in next week's edition for Cancer. A deeper connection to yourself can be fostered by raising your consciousness. It may be a good time for a vacation or even a retreat that will nourish your soul and result in feelings of deep replenishment. So I wrote that for Cancer rising because the Gemini new moon is in this 12th house space. So it is still kind of through the lens of Cancer because I try and write them based on how a Cancer person, a Cancer rising person who's working through the world through the lens of the Cancerian energy will receive the information best. So that is included. However, the new moon, the Gemini new moon for a Cancer rising person, Cancer rising chart, is in the 12th house, which is all about retreat. So with new moons, think new beginnings. There's a lot of other energy that gets infused into the few sentences that I write for these because it's all based on the chart and where things are happening. So there are other things that I pulled in based on the themes of the other houses that the planets are at the time and the time frame, the week for which I'm writing the actual horoscopes. So 12th house, whole different energy, very much about retreat, filling up one's own well, one's own cup, dream work, our subconscious and unconscious parts of ourselves, that kind of thing. So that's why this particular horoscope for Cancer rising says what it says. So I hope that that helps to clarify things a little bit. We will be including this video with every post that we do with the content and about the horoscopes that are going out weekly now. They'll also be on our socials as well as Shore Locals, hopefully eventually. Right now they are in print and online. If you don't know your rising sign, if you don't know your chart, if this is a whole new way and perspective for you as far as working with astrology and reading horoscopes, then I invite you to explore. The best way, obviously, is to work with a professional. I am a professional astrologer. I have a variety of reading options on our website. I'll include a link to that in the video notes. So I have 1-question email reading, which is simple, easy, very, very budget friendly. I have 1 hour, I have 2 hour, so we can go kind of surface level with 1 question or very much in depth with the 2-session, 2-hour reading that I offer. And I work remotely, I work in person. If you just want to peek to get the information to know how to work with your horoscopes, like for the ones that I'm writing, You can cast your chart for free online. It's really easy. I'll put a link to that website as well. It's astro.com. That's one of the more reputable websites out there. So I can put a link for that too, and then you'll know your rising sign and you'll know how to work with the horoscopes just without even having to book a reading or anything like that. There's a lot of resources online. Many people use many different ones. There's a whole bunch, but I prefer astro.com. So that's the one that I'll recommend. And yeah, if you found this helpful, just give us a like, give us a subscribe, share it. If you know someone who is looking to read the horoscopes that I'm now writing and a little confused on how to work with them or what to look for. And I hope that this was helpful. And thank you for being here and tuning in, for listening. Bye.